Are you struggling to get some more business this year versus last year? Maybe the last couple of years have not been good. Or perhaps you're a new agent, but instead of trying to go through the big failures that most agents will do and exit the business, they want to join a top producing team to be able to learn what is the exact activities, scripts, things they should be doing, lead sources they should be doing day in and out, and working with a top producer like myself. That's why I'm shooting this video, because we are actively bringing on agents to join our team or our tribe. I'm going to be going over the difference of the two to see which of those two models may be most applicable for you. If this scares you or this excites you, you're going to want to listen to this. If this is not a fit for you, of course, I understand. It's not a fit for a lot of people to be on my team or to even be in the real estate industry altogether. So I'm going to be going over what is it that I will be expecting if you're to join my core team. My core team is different than my tribe, where the tribe, you'll be joining me at EXP, you'll be my downline, you'll be able to have a lot of the general trainings that we have, but also I have a monthly session for you so that you can come in and use it as an office hour. Now, that, as you can imagine, is a lot less hand-holding because I'm not actually earning really anything off of your commissions or your splits. EXP has a fantastic model, but at the same time, this is a model where maybe you're working part-time, maybe you can do things on your own, but you still want to have access to me. That's really the purpose and the benefit of that section. Now, if you're wanting, like most people, especially if you're in the Bay Area, wanting more hand-holding, more accountability, more of actual learning of what happens day in and day out, then this is going to be the video for you, so keep tuning in. Okay, first and foremost, I'm going to go over the reasons why people do not make it into this industry. We all go into the real estate industry because we quote-unquote want flexibility, or we want the ability to earn more than what we have done before. Give you a little bit of background on my side. My first decade of my career, I was in software sales. On a quote-unquote bad year, I would make, let's say, $100,000. On a good year, which is very limited, I'd make like $200,000, right? And this is in the Bay Area, so on one end, that's okay money, but it's not like anything. Plenty of engineers make way more money than this, and they don't have to have the stress of quarters and month ends and things like that. So I wanted the opportunity to earn higher than that, because I feel like, look, I'm bringing in actually millions of dollars for the company, but I'm only getting 5% of that or 10% of that. I didn't feel like that was that fair in terms of split. So I wanted to do my own business, and real estate was that vehicle for me. However, I also knew that even though I will have flexibility to work whatever hours I want, it is up to you to determine and plot in how are you going to be working the 8 to 12 hours a day to be competitive, but also to be a valuable resource for your clients and people that you work with. I think that's what a lot of people fail to understand, because not a lot of people can be entrepreneurs. Not a lot of people should be in this business, because if they're wanting quality of life, this may not be the business for you. Ask any top producer, do they have a quality of life where they're working few hours a day at most? Unless they've been in the business for a long time and they've really outsourced a lot of things, they're still grinding it. Like, I'm in the top 1% of this country by doing $80 million in 2024. I'm still grinding it. Now, I do go on a lot of trips, right? But I'm still working on this trip. Right now, you can see I'm on a cruise right now. I'm doing recording. I still got an internet package. I'm still working. I may not work the 12 hours a day, but I'm still on. There is no days off because clients can't have a day off, right? But it's up to you how you want to determine that, but it's also that mindset to have. It's okay, right? Like, we can work 7 days a week, and then you can, if you think about it, that's a lot of weekends that you're working, and then later on you can take months off of vacation, right? Like, I'm going to Korea and Japan for 3 weeks. I'll still be working, but I just won't do 12 hours a day, right? So that's the real balance, but you're still putting in a lot of the work to front load it, right? And if you're not having a good year, why are you taking trips? Right? Take a trip to me means of a celebration, to be like, job well done, recharge, to get back into it. So that's number one, right? It's really about how much time is needed to do well in this business. Number two is, what does your days look like? All of myself, along with all my team members, has a similar day. 9 to 12 is all outreach. It could be cold calling. It could be absentees. It could be expires. It could be past clients. It could be past people that you met at open house. It could be internet leads. There's all sorts of things that are outbound that are out of your control. And then the daytime, like let's say 12 to 1 or 1 to 2, I would say that's more content related. So I'm always big on, you should be making content because people on social may be following you. You want to provide thoughtful things. what can you get for X dollar amount? Best practices, local things to do, right? These are the things that you should be posting, creating daily, but also posting daily. Hopefully you can create a few in a row and then you can post them a few days out so that you don't have to do this daily, right? So that's the second part. Next to that, after that, you should be adding more people, connecting with more people, DMing people, right? So on LinkedIn, add 40 people a day. Facebook, add 40 people a day. Instagram, add 40 people a day. Also message people, right? Hey, look, I want to let you know I've been able to help. My team has been able to help over 55 clients this year. We've had record stock prices. Has that impacted your real estate goals, or do you know anyone that has that this can impact or that we can help with? Right? Just conversation, just educating people what's going on, but also creating content, but also doing direct messages. And then late afternoon, hopefully out of all those things, you do that day in and day out. Think about it, that's doing maybe 200 outreaches. Maybe somebody raises their hand, and that's when you ultimately can set up a strategy call with them. And so ideally the afternoons are strategy calls, meetings, it could be networking events, whatever it may be. The solution is always about generating conversations. That's all that we're aiming to do, right? Now, social media is a way to do it at scale, but you still got to have direct one-on-one conversations. Otherwise, it's all wasted time. If they're just watching your content but not doing anything or working with somebody else, that's not helping you. Right, so these are the things that everybody does in daily, Monday through Friday. On the weekends, you may be hosting open houses, right? There's open houses to host. Maybe there's events. Maybe you should host your own events. Different things like that is how we can dial that in so that you are working. Now, of course, if you wanted to take days off, that's up to you. However much money you want to make is entirely on you, not me. It's on you, how much effort you're going to be putting in. Because if you put your 7 days a week, that's an extra 200 outreaches a day that you have that can be compounded, right? Each week, an extra 400 outreaches. Each month, that's 1,200 outreaches, right? Sorry, that's actually 1,600 outreaches. So that's 1,600 outreaches more a month than the next person if they did not work those 7 days a week, right? But it's up to you how you want to balance that. You may be some days you want to just chill. That's all good. But if not, what else are you may be doing, right? You're in the growth mode. Right? Those are the things that's super important. Down the road, you can take advantage of all those big gains that you've done because of all the hard work you did. Right? So that's the second point. Number 3, at the end of the day, think about this. Do you think a professional athlete, they go to the basketball court and they play a game and they didn't practice? But in real estate, we fail to do this, and we just practice on the client. Like, why do you think that's a good idea? The client is the match. It is the competition at that point. So you should already be doing different things to be able to role play for that opportunity. And that's why I am involved in doing weekly sales calls. So that's on the accountability side. Are you actually doing the things that needs to be done? And then number 2, are you doing the weekly role play so that you can improve your skills? Right? We're not snake oil salesmen, but we're also trying to help them understand, look, the rates are what they are. There's nothing you can do. What were your real estate goals to begin with? Like, what was your motivation? What has changed with that? Right? You're going to see all sorts of crazy articles all day and all night because that's the business that they're in. But how does that impact your goals? Right? Are you going to let the news just spook you out every single year? When is there not an uncertain time? Ever. There's always stuff going on because that's what the media is trying to do. But as you look at it over time, you can just see that it's been pretty consistent. Stock price has gone a certain way. Home prices have gone a certain way. And so, but people may get distracted. And once they get distracted, they may not re-enter it for many, many months because they're not thinking about it anymore. Or they just may look at another clickbait headline article, and then that may deter them even more months out. Right? So there's a lot of these things that should level set. Like, look, it's not right for everybody to buy and sell, but it shouldn't be because it's impacted by the media. It should be their individual situation. And that's our goal, to help them realign and help them understand that. Because with or without them, there are homes transacting every single day. Even the worst real estate crisis in history, there are people buying and selling every single day. Why do you think big institutions like BlackRock are buying every single day? Right? What do they know that you don't? They clearly know something. That's why they keep buying. And so these are the things to really understand, but also help people understand why it's never necessarily a bad time to buy, but it has to fit into the goals, and they have to remember what their goals are and go after it. So that's super important about helping people understand their objections, or their objectives, but also overcome any just roadblocks that they may just naturally experience. right? So these are the things that are components. Now, all of our meetings are through Zoom. So if you want an in-person office, that is super old school, waste of time, waste of money. I don't believe in that. We will still have monthly gatherings to get in person, to have social chats, but also to do different things. But meeting me in person is like the last thing we need to necessarily do. Everything can easily be done via voice, via phone call, via Zoom. Way more efficient. We're not both wasting time to drive out there, and it just gets direct to the point, right? And so that's the beauty of the world that we live in, but also the opportunity that there is to be really efficient use of your time, right? Because just think about your dollar per hour. If you make $100,000 a year, your dollar per hour is equivalent to like $50 an hour. If you did $1 million a year, you're equivalent to $500 an hour, right? So you got to understand, that in terms of how to best use your time, but also every minute, every 30 minutes, every hour matters a lot in your business, especially everybody only has a certain amount of tasks they can do any given day. So that's that. Excuse me there. So that's that. So the other thing I want to go over is next steps. If this excites you and this motivates you to be like, look, Spencer, I want to join our team. My contact details are below. I would love to hear from you, and we just jump right into it, right? Like I'm shooting these videos because I'm having these repeat conversations over and over again, and let's jump right into it. Now, the last thing I do want to go over is splits, so we have to go over it later. The way that the splits work is very simple, and every team will have it structured this way. I have it on a sliding scale, and I think it's very fair, but I also want to make it very transparent. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be working with me. Oh, sorry, the other thing I want to go over before splits is also the mentorship aspect of it. So for those that are doing the transactions, whether on the buyer presentation or the seller presentation, I will be joining you, whether it's in person or over Zoom, to have those strategy calls to lead them. And then you're watching me do that. Eventually, you will be doing it. And then later on, you'll be doing, like I'll be watching you. And then later on, you will just be leading on your own. But that's a great model to be able to learn to crawl, walk, and then run, right? Because you want to have the right foundation. You also want to have the right framework. And we keep modifying this. Next, we also have a lot of tools that you're going to be part of this. Now, the cost to join is several things. You will be paying the brokerage, because it's not like I own my own brokerage. My brokerage is still at EXP. So you'll be paying equivalent to about $85 a month. And then that will include basically for other places, similar like a desk fee, but your technology fee. There'll be online services, training, all sorts of different programs that are available. And then you'll be paying like a one-time sign-up fee, right? The one-time sign-up fee, I have to double check. I think it's like 125 or 150 one time. And then our split, the split between you and the company will be 80-20 up until $8,000 cap a year. So in the Bay Area, that may be equivalent to, let's say, 3 or 4 transactions, something like that, right? Maybe 4 or 5 transactions. Then you'll hit that cap, and there's no more split that you have with them outside of some transaction fees. But that's going to happen for everybody. And then at the same time, we will also have a split ourselves, right? So our split is going to be 60-40, 40-60, depending on who has the lead source. So for example, if I gave you leads from my past clients or from activity, then I will have the higher end, 60-40, 40-60. Versus if you brought it yourself, it would be 60-40. Think of this, most of the time, a lot of institutions will have called it like the mentor fee. Similar idea, because this will be from 0 to 3 transactions. From 4 to 6 transactions, there will be a different split. It will be better. From 7 to 9, it'll be something, and then 10 plus will be something. So there's an actual breakdown as you graduate. So that makes it consistent. Everybody's on the same boat. There's no negotiation on this. You either will be happy and excited, get this going, get as many transactions as possible, and graduate like everyone else does. Or you may be greedy and you maybe want to just save a lot on your own and then continue to do the amount that you do. There's so many people that unfortunately watch, they do like 1 to 3 transactions a year. Like how many transactions is that? And are you happy with that volume? I mean, in the Bay Area, even though the Bay Area prices are what they are, what is that? Maybe between before splits, because you probably have a pretty bad split with the company you're at. I don't know, 30 to 70K, 80K, right? That's not that great, especially if you're spending that amount of time trying to do this. And there's other costs that are associated with that haven't been broken down to. Right, so these are the important things that are there, and I just share with you the split structure. The other tools that are part of this, that are part of the fees I pay. So you will be using my CRM, which is called CRM Interactive. I pay about now $700-800 a month for this. You'll have access to Canva Pro. So we use that for all of our marketing materials. It's a very efficient way. We use an internal tool called C-Suite. That's very good for tracking purposes, for like accountability and also project transactions. We have an ops person that'll be handling your transaction coordination. We do charge $500 per transactions for that, but you shouldn't be handling any of that. Our team will handle that all for you, including writing up offers. right? And then we also have other marketing tools like BAMX. We have a subscription for that. That's a really, really helpful content development tool. We have listingleads.com. That's really, really good for creating ideas of sending messages out. We also have a subscription to Redex. We pay about $400 a month for that. That's how we can get expired neighborhoods, absentee owners, circle prospecting, these kind of aspects, right? So you can see if you add up all those things, that's equivalent to at least $300-400 a month that I'm paying for individual people to then have access to, that I'm taking a risk on, right? And so that's why it's so important for people to be able to follow the program, be committed with it, and we also have a standard. If you're not doing a transaction every 6 months, one transaction every 6 months, unfortunately it's not going to work. There is really no excuse for that, right? Like everybody's hustling, everybody's trying to do what they need to do. On average, if you follow this program, it is very doable, right? Because if you do only one transaction every 6 months, that's 2 transactions a year, you're probably only making like 40-50K a year, right? Which is not, I mean, it's okay money, right? But it's not clearly why you are wanting to work 60 to 80 hours a week and go through lots of pain every single day. So I want to go through this video, highlight everything up front. If there's anything else I missed, leave in the comments. I may shoot another video down the road. Maybe there's a part 2. But this is used for everybody that's considering to join my team, wants to understand what my team looks like. And the backstory is, I think I shared it already, like this year we're doing over 80 million transactions in 2024. So for many, it's been a tough year. For us, it's been a grind, but it's still very doable. All right. If this is helpful, be sure to subscribe to this channel. There's a lot of coaching videos. Call or text me. Set them on the calendar if you want to go over the next steps, because this is super important for you to watch up front, and also just level set expectations as who will be a good fit to be part of the team. Thank you. Bye now.